All right, guys. So this biotech just dropped, and I thought this would be a fun and cool lesson to look at with the options because for a biotech, it was pretty interesting how the option chain was priced on this one. I was pretty surprised to see it wasn't too crazily priced before the options. So these were these options. There's a few. I'm going to base it off of this option, this 42. As you see, it's down 31% after hours. Here's a better look, and I'm going to talk about what happened with their drug, but they were at what, $51 at close, and now they're at $35. So those contracts are $7 in the money. They were $25 each. They're going to be worth $700 a pop. If you bought 100 of them, they were, which would have been, so there's no exaggeration on the title here. If you bought 100 of these contracts, that would have been $2,500. Tomorrow they will be worth $70,000 or $7 each. So I want to go over puts and generals for those who are beginners. You guys could understand how I know exactly why these contracts are going to be valued, what makes it so interesting for this play. This would have actually been a decent straddle. And then I'm going to go to a Biofarm Catalyst. I've made a video on Biotechs in general. You guys should check that out since I am so nice. I've put it in the description for you guys, so you could go there, watch that video. But I'm going to show you guys step by step how you guys could have found this process or forecasted this, because this was an interesting move with Zogenix. So to see what happened, we're going to talk about the company, and honestly, the whole situation is interesting. So I think there's a lot to learn about options and biotechs in general. So before I get into that, you guys know, as usual, drop a like on the video. Make sure you are subscribed if you are new. Put a comment too if you guys add to this. If any of you played this, I'll be surprised if any of you played it. If you played this, put this in the comment below. And then also make sure you check out the live streaming channel. We are going to be trading this live. I'm going to be trading this tomorrow morning, most likely. Or I'm going to be at least looking at it. And at the same time, we also have a watch list tonight. So there's all that. I got that out the way. So let's talk about Zogenix and what this is as a biotech company, what led to this move, and again, the puts in general. And I think let's actually start there. I'm sure that's where a lot of you guys are interested, is where's the money? How could you have made this money? So again, the example I used was 100 contracts of these 42s. And why I say there's, if you look at the ask, and this is the ask at close, and really the last trade, there's some that went for, slightly cheaper. And like the ask on these 44s would have been $35. But so it's pretty much, if you paid an extra $10, you would have made another $200. But I think the math on this, I just like the 42s for some reason, but they're right there. I feel like that would have been more realistic with what you would have got filled at, and you probably could have got them cheaper. But why this is, again, for the beginners, what is a put? This is, this isn't a stock. You're not buying the stock, and you're, again, and this isn't a call. You are buying the right for somebody to purchase a stock from you at a specific price. So you're getting somebody to agree to buy this stock of Zogenix at $42, and you're paying them a specific price. So you're saying, by this date of April 18th, you agree to buy this stock from me for at $42 a share. And now think about it. Up until close today, the stock was trading at $52. So that makes sense logically and rationally why somebody would, do that deal and would say, okay, I'll take your money, I'll take your premium, and then I will also, buy the stock lower than what it's at. But in this case now, the stock's at $35. So if it opens up at $35 tomorrow, you now have the right. This guy agreed to buy it from you at $42. The stock's trading at $35. Let's say it's at $35.50. I'm going to say $35 just to keep it simple for you guys. But now that's a $7 difference. So that's $7 a share. Every contract is 100 shares. So that's how now, looking at this contract, it was closing at 25. The last trade was at 27. Again, so I'm saying if you got those at the ask today for $25 a pop, 100 of those contracts would have been $2,500. On 100 of those contracts tomorrow, they're going to be worth $7 each, because it's $7 in the money. And those 100 contracts times $7 is $70,000. So pretty epic. It's going to be awesome. So that's how the puts and the contracts work. And now why I'm bringing this up from an option trading perspective is understanding for a biotech, this kind of came out of nowhere. And I'm going to show you guys on Biofarm Catalyst, but the option premiums weren't too jacked up. Usually the biotechs, and you can even see in general, even throughout the day today, if you probably look at through these options, the spreads are always pretty large. Even if you guys watch the bib play we made over the week, and we've been watching that, the spreads are large on these types of plays. So you got to watch out for that. But in general, the fact was the premiums weren't jacked too much, even though I says the IVs on these were like 78%. But I don't know. I feel like it just didn't seem that crazy. Just the fact that it wasn't too far off the money for $25. And even if you look on the other way, like even if you put $2,500 on the 42s and then went and put like $2,500 on either the 60s or 65s, the stock was trading at $51. That would have been like a 20% move, and it's down 30%. So the calls weren't priced too aggressively. So you could have had a decent straddle. But the issue with this, and this is where now Zyogenics, whatever, how it comes into play, is what was expected out of it. And this kind of came out of nowhere because this was a rolling approval. So how do you figure this out now? This is where we get to Biopharm Catalyst and using this website and doing this research. And now let me tell you guys, this is the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys. You guys come on stream. You guys are going to be there. If some of you guys want to look into the biotech sector, this is a great area to do some of your homework, find stock plays, and understand it. It's very lucrative. It's a high risk reward. So some of you degens out there, this could be for you. But it's a little bit of educational gambling, more or less, when it comes to the biotechs, but there's a way to look into it. So I'm gonna try to paraphrase some of that last video, but we're gonna use ZGNX, Zogenics, I need to look how to say it, as an example. All right, so here's the website, Biopharm Catalyst. So when it comes to any biotechs, I always go to this website. You guys, I recommend you do too. You could do a quick checkup, but ZGNX, you take a look at it, Zogenics. Press search. It's going to start searching for you. And then you can look at drug information. Now, I did a little bit of research already on this after hours once I saw the drop. And again, the same research I did is what I go over in that last video, which is in the description. But it's simply going to the 10K. So you guys could go to NASDAQ.com and read through the 10K because Zogenics has an interesting drug information chart because the first question when analyzing a biotech in the drug approval, and if you guys are pretty familiar, again, this is answering the reason what made a stock drop 30%. This is simply biotechs in general. Now, this company is raising money. They went to the stock market, or sometimes they're already selling a drug, and it's on the market and they're making money, or they're selling shares. They're not making money and they're putting that money towards research and development to create a drug. Because if they create a drug, they could sell it. And if they sell it, they're going to, sell all these drugs to Americans, and everyone loves drugs. And then they're going to make a lot of money, and then investors get rich. The stock goes up, so on and so forth. But in this case, so that's why, again, if they get approved to make a drug and they're the only ones allowed to make a drug, the stock goes up. If they fail, the stock goes down. That's the gambling aspect. So in this case, though, Zogenics is interesting because it looks like it has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different drugs they're working on. And usually the more drugs a company has, it shouldn't make the stock move. And this is where you have to understand and research the stock. But Zogenics has an interesting history. They've been around for a decent amount of time. It's not a new company, but if you go look at their filings at one point in 2013 to 2015, they were profitable, and now they're not. Well, literally, here you see these drugs. So it says, and then this is why I love Biopharm Catalyst. It shows you the drugs they're working on. And again, this is how you analyze a biotech. If they only have a few drugs, the better, because then that means it's make it or break it for the company. But in this case, even though they had 6 drugs, and this is why Zogenics dropped, the drug that they failed today was Fintepla, I think. Fintepla, I don't know how to say it, but it was, it was refused. Oh, wow, look, they already updated it. They refused it, but last time they updated it was around February or March, and you could go through the news here, and I'll show you that. But they rejected it, but this was a make it or break it drug for them, even though they have all these other drugs, because believe it or not, Zogenics, they used to sell painkillers. They used to sell painkillers, and these are all, it says migraine, moderate to severe pain. Look, approved in 2015, approved in 2013, but they got approval on these drugs, but they sold them. Approval in 2009, but they sold them, and they used to license them, but they sold them. And again, you could get all this information from their 10K, but this is to give you background as to why Zogenics moves so much. And again, this is important. Again, another reason why I'm bringing up biotechs. A lot of you have seen these move recently. Understand what's going to cause them to move. Oh man, low battery. What's going to cause them to move and how they're going to continue to move after this. Why we're even going to look at trading it. But for Zogenics, this is a very, very grim outlook because, again, all these drugs, the ones that the ones that they got approval on and that they're making money on, they already sold those drugs off and they put everything into Fintepla. They went from trying to go from painkillers to this is a seizure drug. Again, you could read all this. And then again, I'm going to show you guys next how you could have predicted this or how you could have came up to the timing of this. But for them to switch into this whole space, this was a make it or break it drug. It failed for them. They went from making money to losing money. And again, so this could drop the stock a lot. And again, we're going to see how that plays out. But here's the last time it released. Again, normally with Biotechs, you could follow with Biopharm Catalyst. You could even look at the FDA calendar that they put out. If you guys ever want to take a look, you could follow along. And this is telling you stuff that's going to be coming out here soon. You got a few different drugs, and you could analyze each company. Maybe we might do that. We should probably do that on a live stream. I don't know. Let me know. Comment below if you guys would want to do that. But if we go back to Zogenix, you could go back to their news articles. And again, all those news articles are going to be coming out today. But if you go back, they had presentations, but I think it would say, why Zogenix shares soared 20% in February. If you go to their corporate updates, I think it was theirs. This was in their 10K. Yeah, they said completed rolling submission of NDA to the US FDA and MMA to the EMA. So that's, again, EMA is like kind of the foreign or the European FDA, but the NDA, I forgot, it's not a non-disclosure, but it's going to allow them, that's pretty much their submission, but the fact was it was a rolling submission, so we don't have an end date, but they even said, I think they said it. Yeah, it said notice regarding FDA acceptance and NDA filing and notification of the PDUFA target date expected in the next several weeks. So that was kind of your hint. They hinted about it from the earnings. The stock went up because they filed for this submission. And again, if you read, there's a lot about it. You could go really, really deep into, I don't know, if you guys want to go deep into Zogenix, I kind of could build a whole short thesis against this, but we'll see how it plays out. But that's how you could have predicted this or came across and been ahead of the game, or at least prepared for it. That's why I'm saying it's set in the next several weeks. The other drugs and everything they're working on didn't have other time frames, and it kind of came out of nowhere today, but that's what caused this drop, and that could have been a really, really big trade, and it was fairly, I don't want to say cheap, but we'll see how it plays out, and we'll see how it trades in the next few days, and even coming forth, again, pay attention to these bio stocks. But as you guys see, now, if you understand the background, I encourage you guys to go through the 10K on Zogenix. Maybe you guys should, and we'll touch base on it, and look into how the stock is going to move and what would make investors react this way, what would make a stock drop so much, and why do biotechs do this, and go look at, and this research on Fintepla, that drug, and then Zogenix and everything going on, and how they've pivoted all around from selling painkillers to this and that. It's not that hard. You could go follow up on that in a few minutes. I know it sounds kind of medical jargon, but it's pretty simple, and it's actually pretty fascinating. And again, you can make a lot of money. These are big money plays. So as you see, every $2,000 is 70 racks. So that was a good one, but I'll leave it there. What do you guys think? Who played it? I'll be surprised. Who's going to lie below? I would love to see it, but drop a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you on stream, and get ready for the watch list tonight. Let's go.